greeting someone as to avoid the language barrier. The patent for a fire hydrant, the patent was actually lost in a fire. Eugene Aldrin, the father of the famous moon landing astronaut Buzz Aldrin, not only witnessed this is a fact that I've known since I was a kid, but opossums cannot get rabies. Their body temperature is too low for the virus, and the stomach acid of a vulture is so acidic that it actually kills the rabies virus and most bacteria, which is why they can eat dead and disgusting things. Emma Morano of Italy physician said it would take the average person 30 years, working 8 days a week to solve a cube, saying it was impossible for someone without a master's in mathematics to solve the cube in under a month. This is a fun little one that you can try later, but if you type the word askew into this Google search box, the entire page will tilt slightly. In middle school, I loved looking up those like little Google hidden secrets, little hidden facts, and trying them all out. There was a short period of time when Picasso and Snoop Dogg were both alive together. I actually read this fact not too long ago, and Picasso was actually like not younger, but younger than you think. When I think of Picasso, I think of like Van Gogh, and yeah, like there's pictures of him obviously and stuff like that. Like his death and his life was not as long ago as some people might think, some people being me. If you thoroughly shuffle a deck of cards, the exact order they are in has almost certainly never been duplicated in the history of shuffled decks. The technology for the fax machine was invented in 1843. Fun fact, but penguins have knees. Beavers' anal secretions have been used as vanilla flavor substitutes for certain foods and luxury cosmetics. If you need to dry 1 or 2 pieces of clothing really quickly, throw them in the dryer along with a bunch of dry towels. Your clothes will dry in like 15 minutes or so. Big spiders adopt little frogs and they protect their little spider eggs from predators. How cute. President John Tyler was born in 1790. When George Washington was president, he has a grandson currently alive. 3 generations span all 46 presidencies. Copper doorknobs are self-disinfecting. More people die from vending machines than shark attacks. Some people don't have inner dialogue. Some people can't picture in their mind, and some have/can do both. I want to know, if you're still awake, what do you have? I have an inner dialogue, and I can see very vivid pictures in my mind. If I think about an apple, I see like a very